from Spike is here, and he always dazzles us with his knowledge. He's been in the industry for, well, I don't want to age you, Glenn, you can tell them, but he's been around a while, let's say, and he's super knowledgeable about marketing ideas. And we're going to be talking about free and low cost marketing ideas today. And that really sounds good to probably every small business owner, because what we want to do is be saving money and putting that somewhere else. So without further ado, Glenn, welcome. Now, if you're new with this platform, just remember you can drop things in the Q&A, the comment section, all that jazz. He's here to answer your questions. So you can take questions throughout or at the end.
I'd like to take them at the end. So feel free just to comment and take questions as, you know, like make sure you're putting your questions in as you hear stuff. I generally, I like to spend that time at the end, Anna Murray, as you and I do, like, because I feel like, you know, we can really answer some really good things that pop up for people.
Yeah, you're really good at individualized support and advice. So don't miss out, folks. If you're tuning in today, this is the guy to get your questions answered. And it doesn't have to necessarily be on this topic. Like, you're pretty good on most topics. So, you know, challenge him.
Right, so that's cool. So yes, and answers as you go. I'm going to answer some questions as we go through today as well, just to make sure everyone's with us. So shall I share screen and crack into it?
Go for it. I'm going to stop my video and I'll let you get on with it. Perfect.
So kia ora. So today, free and low cost marketing ideas. This is the outcome of today, is that you're going to know the top 5 low budget marketing tactics like we use to drive sales. And these are very easy, I believe, to set up. So I feel like I've gone past one of my screens. So I'm Glenn from Spike. I'm on a mission to help businesses win with their email marketing. I believe that in fact, it's proven to be true that the value of your business is in your customer database, and that email is still the best way to communicate with that database and unlock that potential by just a massive percentage compared to any other way of communication apart from maybe paid ads, right? So it's still the best, most private way, and even after 20 years of doing this, it's still the most underused one and undervalued. So I'm Glenn from Spike. I'm the founder and strategy guy at spike.co.nz. I'm a Mailchimp pro and I'm a power partner as well. And I thought I'd add this slide in today, like why you should listen to me, because I really do respect your time and appreciate that you've taken some time out of your day. So here's why you should listen to me, right? I obviously do Digital Boost workshops and Q&As, and I really enjoy them, especially for the Q&A at the end. I was one of 2 external partners that did the Mailchimp masterclass. There was me and Ben, who is a senior strategist at Google, which was very cool. I've been in business for over 20 years doing this, and if you go to the experts directory, I just saw this recently, I'm like the first person you see. There's me in the middle, Gary on the left, and Emily on the right. So thanks, Mailchimp, for putting us up there. So what we're going to cover today is running a competition, getting personal with your offers, winning back your lapsed customers, and treating your best customers like VIPs. So I'm just going to set my timer so that I don't go overtime, and make sure we have enough time for Q&A. So treating your best customers like VIPs, maximizing your automations, and then we've got some bonus tips. So these are the 5 things that I believe will help you because they're the easiest to implement. So running a competition. Now, at this time of the year, it's a great time to run a competition and to use it to grow your database and like kind of build on what you've done this year and get yourself ready for next year. So where to start? I think this is really important, that when you're setting up a competition, you actually start to think about like some questions to ask yourself. So what's the price and how much is it worth? Like, you really need to think about that stuff, because if you need to make it worthwhile for your customers, and you need to make sure that like you're not losing out on it when you do it, right? So think about that. Think about like how many winners they're going to be. The other thing to think about with the winners is, what is everybody else going to get? And I believe that everybody else should get something if they enter. So a discount, or an add value, like, hey, thanks for entering, sorry you missed out, but if you use this coupon, you'll get X on your next purchase over X amount, say, right? So always add some value. Don't just have the winners. You can use the winners for promotion on social, and to get some more reach with that. But what I would do is make sure that everybody who enters ends up smiling. We're also going to talk about, like, what does everyone else, sorry, that was what I was talking about. Talking about technology that we were talking about before. My keyboard isn't playing up a little bit today. So how long are you going to run it for? That's really important too. If you run it for, if you want to run it for a long time, you need a big prize. And by a big prize, I mean something over $500. That'll probably take you out to 4 weeks. If you're running something of less value, then really you've only got like a week or so in that, right? To make sure that you're keeping people's attention. And then you've got to start thinking about, how are you going to promote it? And how much will you spend to promote it? Because the entire budget consists of the prize, what it costs you for that prize, and how long you're going to run it for, but how much you're going to spend to promote it. So it's not just looking at the prize and going, oh, I'm giving away $1,000 worth of prize. It's like, well, I'm going to spend $1,000 to promote that as well. So just looking at all of your costs all together. And the tools. This is a really interesting thing, right? Because, people always ask me what tools to use. And one of the best places you can go is to Mailchimp.com and actually put in their tools or competitions or giveaways. And what you need to look for in there is rewards, fuel contests, viral sweep, and Gleam. And then the one that I like to use as well is King Sumo. And King Sumo you can use with any platform. In fact, all of these have integrations for mostly everything as well. So, but those are what to look for at Mailchimp.com. Here's some landing page examples. Now, these are King Sumo landing page examples. So you go to kingsumo.com and sign up, and you can make these look really cool. And I think it's almost free to use it, which is why I like it. But it's just such a useful tool. And by just taking like a little bit of time, like putting a nice header image, making sure it's well placed, having the background image, you can really have a cool landing page that you can send to from social. You could have it on a radio ad, because you could use a bit.ly link, for example. So here's an example of a competition, and how we would promote it, right? Using King Sumo. So as you can see up the front, we've got Instagram, email, and Facebook. So what we're doing here is we're going to create our landing page. We're going to, create a bit.ly for it. So bit.ly. And so we've got a nice short little link. And then we're going to use that link and promote it on Instagram. If we've got an Instagram account and some followers there, we're going to promote it out to our email list. And then we're going to promote it on Facebook as well. Everywhere we can. Like, we've promoted competitions on radios, on radio ads, the back of buses, billboards, almost text messaging, almost anywhere you can think. So that's where it all starts. That is going to take them through to that one of those landing pages that I showed you. And they're going to input their email address. And then on the thank you page, it's going to ask them, we're going to go through this, but it's going to ask them to share that. And it's really going to encourage them, because the cool thing about King Sumo, and I've got no affiliation, by the way, But the cool thing about it is that it actually gives you extra entries for promoting it. So if you want people to sign up to a newsletter, you make sure that the sign up to the newsletter has the most entries. So you might have, if you sign up to my newsletter, you get 50 entries, and that's very easy to check, right? So then they're going to get another email that promotes, encourages them, their friends to sign up. And then, as you can see, there's some email reminders. So, you know, you might send one at 3 days to go, 1 day to go, 12 hours to go. And like this could be over a length of 2 weeks. So King Sumo also sends an email out like about halfway of it to remind people as well. But, you know, that's a nice, simple competition workflow. And if you would like to know how to use that, let me know, because I'm going to run a workshop. And if you'd like to comment yes, I can see how many people would like to know how to actually implement this themselves. So here it is in action. So we sent out an email for this one, and as you can see, we actually A/B tested 4 subject lines, and it was get a chance to win $5,000 of makeup for you and 2 of your friends. That then went through. So you can see there that button really stands out, right? So click to win. So they click through and they go to a landing page, and then you can see they enter their email address. Then they go to the thank you page. Now, as you can see on this particular one, we really were just keeping it very simple. We wanted people to share it on Facebook or via email, and it worked really well. So the email that went out to the friends is just a very simple text email. So that's in that workflow that I showed you. And then we started sending emails as well, right? So we've got thank you emails, thanks for joining, share the love. So that goes through to people so that they, keep sharing to get more entries. You can see we A/B tested another reminder email. And then we also had the final reminder. So as you can see, this one here was sent 24 hours near the end. And then we announced the winners and the runners up. And it was really interesting because this worked really well. But can you see we've written here, but here's a little surprise, claim my highlighter. We gave away a lot of highlighters. So this is a really successful competition, right? The prize all up was $5,000. We added 8,600 people to the database. The cost, including the actual physical cost of the prize, and then the marketing cost was $1,500. It's like $1,500, kind of split half and half. So the total cost to run that campaign, not including the team at Thin Lizzy, they would have spent some time on this as well, getting us images and things, putting the price together. But that was $3,000. So that means that each new customer costs 37 cents. That's really cheap. If you look at any of your stats, you're going to see that, it usually costs you a couple of dollars, if not more, to get someone onto your list. So here's some examples of what the emails that we sent out. And I think that, these are pretty simple to put together. We've got the one for Southern Cross Travel here. And as you can see, that button, buy now to enter, really stands out, on Super Liquor, enter here, very, very simple. Why I'm showing you the one on the right is, can you see down the bottom right of that email, it'll be in yellow. It should stand out on your screen pretty well. And it says sweet as DIY prizes up for grabs. So why I've put that in there is because when you're running your normal email campaigns, you need to be continually promoting it. So what you'll be doing is you'll promote the competition, and then you'll be sending your normal emails. And so in your normal emails, then you are always promoting the competition using banners like this. And that just clicks through to the page. So you'll be running the competition emails, and they are soulless, as in like there's only one call to action in those, and it's about the competition. And then the other emails that you send normally, you'll just have a banner in there for those. And make sure that they do actually, in your testing, that they do click through to the right page. So using every touch point. When you're doing competitions, I think it's really important to use every single touch point you can. And so when we did a competition for Ssangyong, it was run at Field Days, and it was really, really cool. But you can see down there, we had entry forms. Those were actually printed pads that we left on they had like lunch bars down at Field Days. And so we had in their lunch tent area, they had these bars and things set up and tables, and on every single table we had a box with the stickers, Winner Traeger Grill, down the bottom right there. And then we had the pads and a pen, lots of pens, so that people could fill them out. Then we also had the sales guys using the iPads, and they would get entries off people when they were talking to them. The whole goal of this was to sell cars, right? So we added a bit of competition into it, which I think is really fun, especially if you've got a couple of stores, or you've got some people working on this, just to add a bit of competition to it, who can get the most entries. So we had a live tracking Google Doc for it, which was very, very cool. The outcome of this was that we sold 126 cars, well, on the day. That is like the most cars that have been sold. Ssangyong made quite a splash. So there's actually on the day. So here's another example using Facebook and retargeting, because what we wanted to do here with this competition, because it was a huge competition, it was like $3,000 you could win for a car, motorbike. It was really cool. So what we did though is we set up, using a Facebook pixel, we would retarget people as they came through. So if they did a quote, or they got to that, had a look, and then they bailed, we would retarget them, and we would say, hey, you're missing out on this thing. And then if they didn't quite get through to buying, what we would say here on the last bit was, hey, do you need some help? This converted really, really well. I mean, the prize was amazing. It was several $1,000s for each thing. So that doesn't sound very good, each thing. So whether you're a car insurance, classic car insurance, or motorbike insurance, there was an amount for each. And as you can see on Calculate, so the data would go through to Mailchimp, and then we'd send them an email, and then through it would go into Protector Insurance's database as well. Just another example for you. Like, that was specifically starting from Facebook, that one. So getting personal with your offers. I believe that right now there is a huge opportunity, but there's also huge power in personalization, right? So, by saying hello Molly versus hi there, or high valued customer, you're going to have a bigger impact. Now, a lot of businesses talk about personalization and personalized data and recommendations and all that kind of stuff. But to be honest, like, does any of that work? And I would say no, because even Amazon can't get it right. So if you don't put this is a gift, and you've bought something for someone else, next minute you're seeing emails and ads about that thing you just bought and things related to it. So I actually think that as small business owners, we've got products and services we want to sell. Just sell them. And by getting a bit personal, like with names and things like that, and writing more personal, like with your copy, that is how to get personal. Because I believe that right now there's an opportunity for people to get very, very personal. And I'm actually doing a workshop on that. It's going to be free. And we basically start from your sign up form, and we go right through to the welcome email. So that's what I'm going to promote at the end today, because I think that is really important. And if you can get your About Us page right, and you're welcome, and like you're just winning over most businesses. So product recommendations. Now, a lot of what I'm talking about today is Mailchimp specific, and that's because to me, Mailchimp is the gorilla in the room, or the chimp in the room, and I see so many businesses not using Mailchimp and using some other product that, while your web developer might have thought it was a really good thing to do, the fact is that there's so many more experts, especially nowadays, who can help you with Mailchimp. And I think as a small business, you need to make life as easy as possible, and using OmniSend or Flowdesk or some other thing that no one's heard of, it just actually makes your life harder. So have a think about that. And that's why I am actually these days promoting Mailchimp more and more and more, because I just think like 14 million customers, there's like 20,000 experts. I mean, it's just crazy, right? So why make life hard for yourself? Choose a product that is going to make your life easy. And that's when you're building your website, when you're doing everything, look for things that have really great support from Fiverr or Upwork, and use them, right? Things that no one's heard about, too hard, right? And we don't have time for that. So product recommendations. These are really, really useful. And these are driven by the purchase history of your customers. And I know that, I talked about Amazon, but if you are off your personal website where you're only selling a particular, thing of SKUs of products, then actually you can recommend things, because you're going to know that someone who buys this table should probably buy these chairs as well. So you're going to know that in your sales history. Like there'll be let's call it a flow, a customer flow of what people buy, and you can recommend based on that. That's really easy to do, and just that's, to me, that's really good personalization. Using demographics for gift ideas. So why I've left this in here, and thanks to Mailchimp for the awesome illustrations, is that I thought, like, as we're heading into Christmas, like you can start thinking about gift ideas and gift lists for people, because people need ideas. So you can have a look at your demographics in your of your database and start to work out who's in there and what kind of gift ideas you could start promoting, and just save people some thinking time, even if it just prompts them to go, oh yeah, that's a good idea. And like thanking your best customers for shopping with you. So what we've done recently with one of our clients, is they've actually partnered with it's Equip Outdoors. So what they've done is they've partnered with Epic Coffee. And if you're one of their best customers, by best, it means like people who buy often, you're going to receive a surprise in your next order, which I think is really cool, right? So having a think about your best customers, you don't need to tell them that you're going to do stuff for them, but just like surprising them with something, because, you've got a group of people who have bought off you 10 times this year. Well, I think you should give them something, because they are going to talk about you more than the customers you don't have. Because like that whole thing goes, it's easier to sell the customers you have than get new ones. That is so true. And so, I feel like we're constantly, as small business owners, looking for new customers, looking for growth. And I think you should do that. But also you should be spending time on making sure that your existing customers feel loved, welcomed, and valued, right? And so it's very simple to do that. Doesn't even take much. Could even just be some lollies or something in there, So here's some ways to get data. Now, these are preference forms. So you can use these in different platforms. But can you see here that we're looking for like a preferred email frequency? Because like Thin Lizzy and TV Shop, for example, they send a lot of emails, right? And so why we put this in was actually so that we could actually stop people from unsubscribing as much. So you can actually just down your frequency from like every day to just maybe once a week. But you can see like we know quite a bit more about them. We've got their birthday. Birthdays are so useful. If you can surprise someone like a week out from their birthday, especially like, restaurants and people like that. I think that's really useful. And I think like we're working with the Mount Eden Hospitality Group at the moment. So they've got Circus, the Garden Shed, and Woo and You. And like they've got another one coming open soon. So what we're working on is getting all their customer database up and running. And then we cleaned it all up. And then we're using these preference centers to get some data and get birthdays so that we can like really incentivize people to come in and buy and come in and spend money at these venues. So really, really useful thing to have. And then like, for the off the back guys, and they send multiple emails a day. So some people just want, they just want the super sales, which is once a month but a lot of this will stop people from unsubscribing, and you'll get some really good data for your personalization. Here's another way of getting it is through surveys. So we're doing a survey for McLaren guys, and what we want to know is like what people were thinking about, because this is like not that long ago. So it's kind of going through COVID, and we were thinking like, what can we ask people? So are you looking to grow your business this year? Some people aren't. What reports do you have set up in Xero that can give you a quick view of how your business is tracking? Like we were asking things that we felt would be useful. And so, what are we doing right for you? What could we do better? What service would you like us to offer? And I think that's an interesting question, because if you are in a service business and you're thinking, oh, my clients often ask me for this. I wonder what else. I wonder if the other ones would be interested. Just do a survey. And by doing a survey, you'll be able to personalize some of your content as well. So winning back your lapsed customers. So to me, a lapsed customer is one who hasn't opened an email in 3 months or so, or they haven't purchased off you for 12 months maybe. So we're talking about those customers, right? The ones who are kind of costing you money in Mailchimp, for example, because they're not doing anything and you haven't tried to win them back with a competition, for example. So this data is all in Mailchimp. So I wanted to run through this. So yeah, you log into Mailchimp, you go to audience, and then you go to audience dashboard, and like look at this stuff. I mean, this is really cool. Like this information used to be very hard to get and involved a lot of spreadsheets. And so now it's just here. And I just think this is so valuable. Like looking at your high, moderate, and low, and again on the other side, like the likelihood to purchase again. I think this is where you start, right? Because you can target them with the competition or something cool to get them to come back. And if they don't, then you archive them, right? And you stop paying for them. You can unarchive them maybe once a year or something if you want to do something with them, or once every 3 to 6 months. But like, there's not much point, using those people. So, but look, you can see like engagement here. You can see the people who are opening them often. And so these actually change, by the way. Like, it's not just there will be a small amount of people who just open every single time, but it does change. Like, you see activity through and engagement through your marketing list change as people like, oh, that one caught their attention. So the thing is that, if you can move people up from, say, really to sometimes, from sometimes to often, that's really going to add to your cash flow, because it's easy, right? Just trying to use subject lines or offers just to prompt them to move up. So look, here's a quick re-engagement example. And the campaign was send a re-engagement campaign to customers that haven't engaged with any campaigns for the last 3 months. And so we're going to offer them we're going to offer them $30 credit. We're going to use online 30, and that's going to encourage them to open the email and give them a nudge to buy. So we're going to quick select that target audience. Really, we're going to have a subject line like I'm just spitballing here, but something like you can have $30 on your account plus free shipping if you spend more than $70. I'd probably A/B test a couple based on clicks. And then timing, you've got 4 days to spend. You're going to test those subject lines, and you're definitely going to see a spike in your sales. So here's some examples. Like, we miss you. Here's 30% off. We want you back. I mean, these are pretty hard sell, right? Like, we hate goodbyes. We're very proactive with Thin Lizzy about how we take people off their list because it's so large. So, I mean, you're taking people off if they haven't engaged for 30 days because you're sending emails every day. And so, yeah, if people aren't engaged, so we have this set up from 30 days. 30 days, boom, we miss you. Here's 30% off. We're really proactive with this. So a pro tip at this stage is to write very clear calls to action. Use those short sentences, and less is more. We miss you. We hate goodbyes. Shop now. Like really short and sweet will work really, really well. So on to the next thing, number 4, treating your best customers like VIPs. So, I mean, this really, really works, right? And so, if you surprise, like I mentioned this before, like if you surprise your awesome customers, if you run a special holiday sale for your best customers, if you thank them for shopping with you, like really simple stuff, like you can send them a postcard because like no one's sending stuff in the mail anymore, right? So imagine if you sent someone a card. I mean, it's going to cut through, right? Like you're going to get it into their letterbox. It's going to be very cool. They're going to appreciate it. It's going to bring a smile to their face. So how would you do that? You would set up a landing page. You would then identify the people in your data who have made multiple purchases over the past year. You'd tag them. You'd send them that awesome offer. And then what I would do then, see how it went, and then I would set that up as an automation. That's how I would maximize that time. And as we go, we're going to go into maximizing our automations. And like, why would you do this? It's because it saves you so much time. I mean, Jessica said at the time that this was saving her between 2 and 5 hours a week. I suspect this could save even more time for a lot of people if they have their automation set up correctly. Like, yeah, you can automate so many things, right? And it's just having the time to do that. So here's some examples. So we've got a welcome email, we've got a recommendation email, abandoned cart reminders, thank you. Like these are all things that you can automate. So like with your welcome, thanks for subscribing, and this will all come off your sign up form that said like, sign up and you're going to get something. Like we're going to give you an exclusive 40% off. That's what their sign up would have said, and then we give them that, right? And you can see like on the left there, the welcome comes immediately after signing up, and then we're 24 hours after we get a welcome email. So in the workshop that I'm going to talk about at the end, this is what we're going to do. We're going to set this up. Like it'll take like an hour and a half to 2 hours, but we'll have all of this set up for you. So, and then abandoned cart, it's like, it comes out an hour after or within an hour, and then 24 hours after, and then 3 days after. This works really well. So 1 hour, 24 hours, and 3 days. You need at least 3, by the way. Some people have 5. Product recommendations. So this is like wondering what goes perfectly with your previous order. We've got you covered. So that was what I was referring to before. Like if you're selling something, think about bundles in your head, right? Like think about, oh, what can I bundle with this? So if you either promote it at checkout, the bundle, or if they don't do it, then you send them an email and you have this filled out. And you can actually populate this in some cases automatically. Really, really cool. So a bit of a bonus, and I know I'm going a bit fast because I can see like lots of questions and stuff in there, but like think about making it timely. So set a timer on it. Like if you can just shorten the time that someone has to take an action, like that is going to prompt them to actually do it. And I know that we probably all do that, but if you don't, like, yeah, set a timer on it. Don't let things go for weeks and weeks and weeks because you think, oh, I want to give people time. No, do this for this week, something else for next week, something else for the year, the week after that. And then next year, you don't have to think about what to do, because what you'll do is you'll go back to, you know, November the 1st or whatever that month, and you'll go, oh, what did I do that week? And then you'll just repeat it, maybe with some different copy or some different images, but you don't have to think about it. So I'm going to get to that, because this is about having a plan. So planning, to be like, in my opinion, planning is having a schedule you can stick to and then sticking to it. And then so every industry is different. So you've got to think about what's going to work for you, but that's what planning is. So a real simple plan is just a spreadsheet. Like this, we use this for like most of our clients because it's just so easy, right? We've got the months down the bottom. We might have other tabs for promos that we're running. And then we have another tab for every email that we've sent in the last year. So that's because you know, our customers fill these out, or we help them fill them out on calls. And but by looking at what we sent last year, then we can fill these out very quickly. So for our like our high value, I suppose, you know, the ones, our e-commerce customers who are selling lots and lots and sending lots of emails, like we actually fill these out for them a week ahead. And how we do that is we go back to what we did that week last year, and then we fill it out, and then we go and have a look at what's trending on their Google Analytics, and we go and see like what's, you know, what's the top seller, and then we put those couple of those things as well. And it just means that, you know, our customers aren't having to think about what they need to send. So if they want to send something specific, they can, but they don't have to spend as much attention on working out what to send that week if they don't want to. Saves a huge hours and so much attention. Like your attention is probably more valuable than your time, right? Because if you're paying attention to something, doesn't matter where you are or what you're doing, then you're not focused on what you should be doing, and that's a bit of a waste of time too. So here's what a plan looks like over a month. And this, again, it's just done in Excel, right? But you can see what we're really filling in, what we're doing, when we're going to post, when we're going to send an email. You know, we've got here, we're creating a form of subscribing to emails on Facebook. We're going to boost a competition. And then like we dive down a bit deeper, and we actually say what all of those things are and when we're going to do them. But still, this is all in Excel, like it's really simple stuff. So I believe that content can be really, really easy. So here's how it works. So on day 4, you're going to schedule your email and watch your sales come in, right? So what we do is we go back 3 days, 4 days, and we write down some ideas for your offers or content and articles, or if you've got like a really simple planner, we can share one with you. You already know what you sent last year, right? And so you can just go, oh, what did I send last year? And you've got some ideas. Day 2. So that's 10 minutes, really 10 minutes, 10 minutes. Put it away. And then the next day, start getting into some detail, probably spend another 10 minutes or so on it. And then day 3, like build your email. You've got all your points. I do this, by the way, for all my workshops or things that I'm doing, because I just make a start on it. And then it kind of prompts me to keep going and get it sorted. But if I just make a start on it and I write my points down when I think about them, then I'm ahead of the game when it comes to actually building that email. So here's some mistakes to avoid as we head into the holiday season. Leaving planning to the last minute, especially around this time of the year. Not using all the channels you have. All the channels you have start with you as well, and all the interactions that you have with people on the phone, through email, through Facebook, like, you know, you're a channel. So use every channel you have at your disposal. sending too many emails. Like, yes, that is actually a thing, especially at this time of the year. I find around Black Friday and that some people can get a bit carried away, and that's not what people signed up for. So you have to preempt it sometimes. Say, hey, this year we're running a 12 days of Christmas campaign. If you'd like to not receive that, please click here, and maybe you can opt them down or just opt them out of that workflow. There are ways to do that, and it's really useful. You could just have a single email that you send every Monday that is the offers for the week. It's an amalgamation of them all. And then tech issues. Like at this time of the year, there's a lot of stress going on. So make sure that everything is up to date, everything's charged up, whatever you need, and make sure that you have the person available to help you if things go wrong. Like, who do you reach out to? Make sure you know who that is. Either have that phone number written down on your desk or very close at hand. So like it is time to win with your email. And if you'd like help to set these things up for your business, go to spike.co.nz/workshop and sign up for the free workshop today. Go and sign up for it now. And in that workshop, here's what you're going to learn. How to write and set up a sign-up form. Because I believe that everything starts at the sign-up form, right? So when you write, you're going to receive a weekly email. Boom, you've just set up your frequency. I'm going to talk about tips and tricks about XYZ. Excellent. So now you know what you're going to write about. So it's very easy to research it. And it's like, you've got to make these things really easy, right? And so someone will sign up for that more likely than subscribe to my newsletter. Like, who cares? But if it's like, if they're at your website and you do something cool and now they're because they're interested, so they either sign up to get $10 off their next purchase because your average order is like $90. So you can take $10 off that order and you know you're going to be fine. I'd rather do that than percentages. Or like if it's a service, then, hey, we're really good at email marketing, so you should download our top 10 things to do with email marketing, right? So be really specific about that sign up form, and it'll actually make your life easier. From there, we're going to talk about pop-ups. Now, for the person who's about to write, I really hate pop-ups, excellent. The thing is that they are proven to work by like 50% more. So you might not like them on other people's websites because they might not be set up properly, but you can set them up properly and have a really cool one and know that it works. And then the next thing we're going to learn when it pops through is what a good welcome email needs to include. So that's the one that comes straight away. We're going to learn how to set these up in Mailchimp because I think we might as well actually do it. So that's what this workshop is all about. And then we're going to talk about that onboarding series. So you had the welcome email, which was the first one, and then the next one that comes out, say 24 hours later. And what we're trying to do them is get them to that, to a sale of your product or service. So thank you. So you can go to spike.co.nz/workshop, sign up for that free workshop today. There's a Zoom link to register. And now it's time for Q&A.
Awesome. I'm liking the little that salmon colored last screen you've got there, Glenn.
Thank you.
Look, as per usual, you are a gift to us. These sessions are always so good. Lots of people saying that they are keen to do your workshop. Do take advantage of that. We've had some amazing feedback about that, the last one that you ran. Now, there's a few questions here. I thought we'd just kind of get started at the top. So one from Tracy. We've done handmade cards made by us for our customers for Christmas, and we know they have lost loved ones throughout the year. Does this count as personalized experience?
Yeah, absolutely it does. Look, there is an opportunity here for personalization that small businesses can take advantage of. If you have an About Us page that doesn't have your photo on it, like, you are missing out. Stop acting like you're bigger than what you actually are, because people want to do business with people. And I feel that after the last 2 years, that is more so than ever. Get yourself out there, be proud of what you do,
Yeah.
because I'm proud of you. If you need someone to be proud of you, I'm proud of you. You're doing a fantastic job, and I love what you do. So put yourself out there, okay? And because people want to do business with people.
Mm. That's so true. Like there's so much of that now. We get so little contact with humans these
Yeah.
days. We want to know that businesses are reputable. There's also a lot of scams, and so
Yeah.
it just like it really does make it reputable and give you that base that people go, oh, this is a real person. I want to buy from this person. It's a person.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So we have some more questions here. Now, there was a comment/question on whether or not we had done a session on Mailchimp. So what I did was there's actually a session we did with Glenn that was on Mailchimp, but it was like the ultimate template. Was that do you think a good session for me to highlight? It was like the ultimate Mailchimp template.
I think that is a good one. I'm actually, thanks to Diana, I suppose, prompting me and yourself, I'm actually going to start running a lot more free workshops, like, ones where it's actually like hands-on, like we'll do stuff. So I'm just prepping myself for that. So watch out for those. And they'll always be at that link, spike.co.nz/workshop. And they'll be 2 hours. And at the end of it, there'll be an outcome of something that you've built that you can use and go and make some money with.
Awesome. That sounds great. Who doesn't want that?
Yeah.
Okay. A question here from Katie. It's a bit tricky to have a competition for my business as it's a service business. We are a small design agency. What is your thought on this? Should we be doing a competition to win 5 hours worth of design time or something? Great question.
So that is a great question. And I think you can do competitions or giveaways, but look, why don't you like give away a free logo? Or why don't you do something? Yeah, I think do something cool that's like a really add value that not many people are doing. Like you could almost 99 design it, right? But it's so 99 designs, it's a competition. So, but I think like you could do that. Or if you want to get, I don't know, a bit more personal, what you could do is actually do something that is of value to people. So you've
I had
got
to sneeze.
so you've got clients, bless you. So you've got clients, right? And you know what's valuable to them, and it could be a dinner out, could be something like that, right? Now you're going to have to make sure that people have some hoops to jump through to do that. But if you're in Auckland, give them a free voucher to the garden shed or something like that or a giveaway with a logo or something.
I love
really
the
cool.
logo idea. That's really cool because also people will be like, oh, where'd you get your logo from? And then you're like, oh, well, I actually won my logo, from this company. It's great publicity because the logo is not going to go anywhere, is it? Like it's like constant publicity.
There's a really cool book I've just read called Built to Sell. And the guy in that, the story in that is about a guy with an agency. And they decide to really like just do one thing, and that is designing logos. So I think that's what prompted me. But that is a really valuable thing for a lot of businesses.
Yeah.
And a lot of service businesses out there are often creating new products. So like all their new products always need new logos. So I don't know. I think you could think about that competition for you in a different way where it's not about you. It's about your customers and what's valuable to them right now. And to be honest, right now, and especially if you're an Aucklander, it's an experience.
Yeah.
Like it's something cool that they can do when we come out of lockdown.
Okay. Now I have shared that link that you popped in there with everyone.
Did I just do that to you? I'm so good at it.
You always do that.
So good at it.
Just a couple of questions about the workshop because they are coming through. One says, does this workshop work if you currently don't send email? I'm a startup, but keen to learn the how-to before launching. Okay, cool.
Let's get you set up. We can even let's get you signed up for a Mailchimp account and actually get it set up properly. We'll do that. We'll spend probably 15 minutes on that, making sure that everyone's stuff is set up properly.
Yeah.
So we're going to connect everyone's accounts as well. So, if they need a bit of support later we can log in and check it out. By the way, paid
Awesome.
accounts, so good. You're missing out. If you've got a free Mailchimp account, you are missing out on a lot. And someone's going to say, so what's the difference? The difference is like your template design, for example, way better. Your workflows, like so much simpler if you have a paid account. Automations, everything. And like for about $25 a month, like that is going to create so much value for you. If you
Well, I mean, you always talk about how much customers are worth through email, and they're worth what, 20 something dollars versus $3 or something on Facebook. Like what was it, $12 or something? So it's like that's just one person. So
it is. I mean, we've got a customer that makes, I mean, the thing is that if you're a small business and you're spending $2,000 a month, you're thinking, okay, I have to sell $10,000 of products to get that back, right? But you're not really actually looking to see if you are selling that $10,000 worth of products. Whereas the thing is like, I'm not sure that is the best way to think about that idea, by the way, although, it should be covering its costs for sure.
Yeah.
But the thing is that what we notice is that like an email user has got a way higher conversion rate and is probably worth 10, 11 to, like you're saying, 20 times more than a social user.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. More questions. So one, hi, I have a small inactive database. Where would you recommend starting as a first step, trying to re-engage customer base or competition for new customers to join our database, or both? Thanks. Great question, Shannon.
So it does depend, Shannon, on how long ago since you contacted them. Like, if it's over a year, you do have to be careful. But if it's not over a year, or it's less than 2 years maybe, you could just say, hey, we haven't been in contact for a long time. We're upping our game now. Here's what we're doing, and here's a competition that we'd love you to enter. Or, like we're doing a giveaway, or we're running a promotion, and we are going to start consistently talking to you, communicating with you every month or every week from now on. And then
or as many times a week as you can, as Glenn likes to say.
That's right. Less is more. Or no, what is it? Send less more often.
More often.
But I would do both. I would do both. The copy for the people who you haven't talked to, which is a crime, by the way. Like that like they gave you their email address, like physically typed it in.
Yeah.
Or maybe they had it saved in a form, and you didn't do anything with it. Like that's a crime to me, because like to me, your email address, it comes to here, and so it's in your hand, it's so close to you, it's on your watch, and it's like a driver's license, like it goes everywhere with you. It's so valuable. Anyway, I hope that answers that question.
Yeah. And there's so here we've got another question, then I'll do this other question. It says, my clients are corporate offices, on-site massage visits. Ooh,
nice.
Why don't we have that at the Mind Lab?
Yeah,
it says, who best to offer competition prize to?
Whoever books those in. So here's where, in corporate, there is always a person in the office who is the go-to person to book all this stuff, right? And they generally miss out on cool stuff. So offer it to that person, because they're awesome. Like the person who came in to get the massage, like, or who had it booked in for them, like someone at the front desk generally book that in for it. So
the gatekeeper.
Gatekeeper, it's that person, because if you can like value them a lot, they will just promote you right around the company.
Epic.
Yeah.
Would you recommend backing up your database outside of Mailchimp?
No, I used to. I wouldn't now.
Yep.
I think like they have more than enough backups for anybody, those guys. So
okay.
Yeah, just leave it there.
Yeah. And no
good
worries.
question.
You're
good
welcome.
question though. Like that is a good question, because and I'll just pause on that for a sec, because like your data is really, really valuable, but it does get stale. So as in like so if it's sitting in Mailchimp and it's being communicated to, then it's always going to be, that's going to be your cleanest database. So yeah, but you shouldn't need to back it up anywhere these days.
Okay, cool. And then with the workshop, what level of website permission and IT knowledge is required for the session? Yeah, good question. Some of us are a bit shy with our tech knowledge.
The only thing you're going to know how to need to do is log into your Mailchimp account. And if
or
not,
create one, right?
Or create one.
Yeah.
Yeah, but even then, I'll still show you how to do it. And so there you go. So really, no, it's not about what you know, because we're going to teach you. Well, I'm going to teach you.
Yeah.
I'm going to personally teach this workshop. So it's not about that. It's about like that you want to learn.
Yep.
That's it. Like, so turn up and I'll show you what to do. And if there's a tech issue, like Gary will help. You'll be fine.
Yeah. Okay, great. There's people just saying, oh, I've signed up for the workshop already. So when you finish this session, there will be probably people registered already when you get there. So that's quite cool. And it looks like that's kind of all the questions that have come through. I just want to let everyone know, if you didn't hear me in the beginning, Glenn has done a lot of sessions with us. He's been very kind to spend so much time with us here at Digital Boost. And a lot of his sessions are, we've got the ultimate Mailchimp template, email layouts, copywriting, and common pitfalls, grow your business with email marketing, so many more. I think that I just put in Mailchimp there, but if I put in Spike, even more sessions will come up. So do check it out. If you're looking for them on the Digital Boost website, just go up to the search engine and just type in Spike, and it'll pull up all the sessions that Glenn's done today, because they all run like this. They're all really easy to follow and give you calls to action and kind of next steps, which is really great to get you motivated into doing your business, growing your business. And Glenn also has a newsletter on Mondays that he sends out. I actually receive it myself. It's the Monday Motivator that he's done for a very long time. And it's just really like deep thoughts by Glenn. That's what I think of it as. But it is quite, they're quite good to get and read on a Monday, often a bit of perspective shifting, which I think is, it's good to be tied into a bit of a community, or to have your mind, to have you question some things, I think, when you're running a business and feel supported.
I agree. And then I should put more tips in there, but I am going to be doing that. So I do put business tips in them. But yeah, I think like it's about kickstarting your thinking. And when I started Spike in 2004, that's what I decided to stay in touch with people about, was something to kickstart their thinking, not much about email marketing, and so I think that's paid off for me over the years. So
yeah, that's what I like about it. It's not necessarily, it's not a sales thing. It's not a thing. It's like literally just like, hey, we're human beings here. Let's chat about something.
Yeah. Well, when I write the book,
how do people sign up for that Monday Motivator? Actually, don't know.
They can just go to spike.co.nz and sign up for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that's the best way.
Just put your email in there. I can pull it up properly. But yeah, so I think that's kind of us for today, Glenn, because there's no questions on the other platforms, just people saying they're having a good time. So yeah, make sure that when you go to Spike, you go to .co.nz, because there is like a .com or something, and that's not Glenn. You'll see Glenn right on the website. You'll see his face. You'll know who it is.
Like I said, it's about getting personal. I'm very welcoming.
Yeah, love it. I love it. So thanks again, Glenn, for another fabulous session, and for that special offer of that free workshop, because I know that folks are going to get so much value out of that. If you guys have any questions, I know that Glenn always is happy to have like a quick chinwag with you. Get a hold of him via his website or via LinkedIn, I would say, would also be another way that you can find Glenn. And I think do we have any more sessions for the year? Maybe. Definitely have a whole bunch booked in for next year. So that's going to be cool.
Excellent. Right. Thank you very much. I will hang around for a sec.
Yeah.